You ever have a day that starts like any other and ends up flipping your entire world upside down? Yeah, that's what happened to me. Except mine started with a couple of rain-soaked twins in a rundown diner, claiming they could cure my blindness if I'd just buy them breakfast. I almost laughed them off. Come on, we'll fix your eyes. What are you, faith healers? But there was something in their voices, something calm and unsettling, like they knew things nobody should know. And let me tell you, when you've spent a decade in darkness, real darkness, not just the lights-off kind, you develop a radar for what's real and what's just desperate hope wearing a costume. I was Ethan Rowe then, the blind billionaire with a reputation for being colder than January steel, haunting the same booth every Tuesday in a forgotten diner off the highway, just trying to stay invisible. Didn't matter how big your bank account was when the only thing you saw was the back of your own eyelids. My only companion was Arlo. My old golden lay got more sausage than conversation out of me. But that's loyalty for you. Everything changed that day those twins showed up. Cowan and Ko, they said their names were. Didn't beg, didn't hustle. They just stood there, soaking the linoleum, offering something impossible with dead serious eyes. If you share your food, we'll cure your eyes. I snorted. You don't know what blindness is, kid. But they just stared back, unblinking. You don't know what we are, the other one whispered. And let me tell you, in all my years, I'd never heard a kid sound that tired and that old at the same time. The food was gone before I could argue myself out of it. Something about their presence was like gravity. I just let the plate slide over. No promises. Ow! I muttered after a minute, voice so raw I barely recognized it. Ko looked up from his half-eaten toast, said, "Not all at once. You got to unlose your eyes first." Unlose. What a word. Made me feel like a riddle I hadn't solved yet. I'll be honest, I almost didn't come back the next day. But I did. Couldn't help it. The drawing they left folded paper, pencil lines pressed deep sat in my pocket like a dare. Every Tuesday became Tuesday and Wednesday, then Friday, then whenever my feet itched for something real. And every time I showed up, so did they. Never asking for more, never pushing. Just showing up, rain or shine, with stories about sleeping under bridges or getting chased out of shelters, or Ko's uncanny ability to tell when someone was about to cry. They were weird. They were honest. They started to feel like the only people who saw Minute as the blind guy, not as the mogul, but just Ethan. The waitress started doubling my order. People started staring, especially the adults, who always look at kids like that with suspicion or sympathy, never curiosity. But those boys weren't looking for either. They asked questions that made my bones ache. What do you believe happens when someone stops wanting to see? Do you think people choose to forget their own face? One afternoon, Cowan slipped a hand across the table and touched my jaw, gentle, deliberate. I swear to you, I hadn't been touched like that in years. Not since the accident. Not since my wife left. Not since I retreated into this penthouse of silence and steel. Not broken, Ethan, he whispered. Just full of things no one helped you carry. For a second, it felt like the crash never happened. The rotors, the fire, the screaming metal, the silence that followed. I used to be someone. Visionary, they called me, the blind futurist. Built an empire, lost everything in 10 seconds of noise and flame. All the therapy, all the money, couldn't bring back what burned. My wife tried. She left when I stopped living. Friends evaporated. Family gave up. Only Arlo stuck around. But those boys, damn, they were stubborn. Never asked what happened. Never probed the scars. Just kept showing up, peeling back layers with questions and silence. There's a difference, between being seen and being pitted. They saw me. Saw it through me. Then came the twist. One viral headline, thanks. Isla Monroe, you shark-blasted photos of me and the twins everywhere. Tech Titan under street spell, she called it. Social services swooped in, tore them out of that diner, out of my life. Not even a goodbye. System said they were protecting them. From what? Consistency? Compassion? I lost it. Pulled every string, called in every favor, didn't care how ugly it looked. Finally found them in a shelter, Ko burning up with fever, Cowan guarding him like a pit bull in a 12-year-old's body. I carried Ko straight out. Nobody stopped me. The hospital said if I come an hour later, he wouldn't have made it. That hit me harder than the accident ever did. For the first time in my life, I knew what it meant to see not with eyes, but with responsibility, with love. They saved me, those boys, but I saved them right back. Didn't need sight for that. Needed heart. And then, just when I thought I'd settled into this new life walking the city, letting the twins describe sunsets and storms, letting them show me how to feel the world again, something strange happened. A flicker of light right behind my eyes. Not images, not faces, just a breath of gold in the black. Doctors called it neural noise. Ko called it proof. You were never really blind, he said. You just stopped looking. He was right. It took months, maybe years. Legal battles, headlines, speculation about my sanity. But I didn't care. I fought to adopt those boys. One. Gave him my name. My home, not the cold penthouse, but a real house with sunlight, bread baking, wind chimes, and a dog who finally learned to nap without worry. We planted trees, called them by the names of stars. Because roots, as Ko said, should reach the sky. People still ask if I got my sight back. I tell them not the way they mean. My eyes? Damaged. My world? Still mostly dark. But those boys? They taught me to see again. Showed me presence, patience, how to listen until the truth walks right up and sits down beside you. Started a foundation for kids like them, the invisible ones. Called it Luke, after the Latin for light. Not about fixing anyone, just seeing them. Opening day, the world wanted a miracle story. I gave them the truth. These boys didn't cure my eyes. They cured something eyes were never meant to see me soul. Some people clapped. Some just cried. My mother called for the first time in years. The press spun it every way they could, but it didn't matter. All that mattered was that for the first time, I was present. I was home. One night on the balcony, city pulsing below, I asked the boys, "Do you think I've changed?" Cowan just shrugged. "You didn't change, Ethan. You came back." "Yeah, I guess I did." Maybe that's all any of us need, not to be fixed, but to be found. So tell me, what do you see when you look at your own life? Where have you stopped looking out of pain, fear, habit? Maybe real sight isn't about the eyes at all, but about the courage to let someone else describe the world to you until you're ready to see it for yourself. If this story hits something inside you, good, bad, or just left you thinking, I want to hear it, drop comment. Tell me what you believe about justice, about being seen, about what makes us truly whole. Because sometimes the brightest light comes not from seeing, but from letting yourself finally be seen.